Hey everyone, what is going on? So we have another meta guide for you today for the Master League Premier Classic. So in this cup, you are only allowed to use Pokemon up to level 40. They cannot go above level 40, so no XL Pokemon. And you cannot use any legendary Pokemon either. So still kind of an expensive team. You do have to max them out to level 40, but it's not as expensive as the Open Master League, right? Or with the level 50 Pokemon. So a lot of trainers might prefer to play this meta. But either way, we're going to be talking about this. And we have 2 weeks left until the new season. I can't wait to find out what Season 12 is going to have in store for us. I'm really excited. But either way, let's go ahead and take a look at the Master League Premier Classic meta. So for the S tier, we do have Gyarados, or Shadow Gyarados, a great Pokemon. It does well against a lot of Pokemon in the meta. For example, it does well against the Metagross, which is going to be really big. If it has Dragon Breath, going to do well against the Dragons because it's taking neutral damage from Dragon Breath or opposing Dragon types, whereas it's dishing out super effective damage towards those Dragons. So overall, just a great Pokemon. Waterfall is a great option as well for like Excadrill, and it's just a powerful hitting move. So both moves are good, and Waterfall would be better against the Togekiss as well because Dragon Breath is double resisted. So a great Pokemon. And then we have Florges, so relatively new to this meta. I mean, really good. It's a Fairy type. It is weak to Steel. It does have like Fairy type charge attacks. It has Vine Whip as, you know, the fast move, but it gets to the moves pretty fast. It's pretty bulky. Doing well against the Dragons, of course. So great Pokemon, great addition. I could honestly see people running double Fairy types, but one Charmander and then one, Florges. I think that's a great option for you. But yeah, just a good Pokemon. I personally used it myself, and I had a lot of fun with it. And then we have Dragonite, which is probably it is one of the best Dragon types. Dragonite as well as Garchomp, both of them are really good. So yeah, Dragonite with Dragon Tail or Dragon Breath, just so powerful. Shadow Dragonite as well, whichever one you prefer, but just such a good Pokemon. Does so much damage. Again, as long as it's not going up against a Charmander or a Fairy type in general, doing a lot. I mean, the Hurricane hits for a lot of damage as well. Then we have Metagross, which is generally a staple. It's not a staple for every team, but it's just such a great Pokemon. Usually I see the regular Metagross, but I mean, I've seen this Shadow one once or twice. Could be okay, but the regular one is the one I personally have built with that Community Day move of Medium Mash. I have seen Psychic instead of Medium Mash, so Psychic and Earthquake, believe it or not. But I do really like Medium Mash. I think Medium Mash is a great move. But if you do have Medium Mash and Earthquake, really can't do much to Gyarados. I mean, to be fair, the Medium Mash is still doing a decent chunk, but it is resisted. That's why some people do run Psychic, but most of them have the Earthquake and Medium Mash. And then we have the Garchomp, which we kind of talked about. It could run Dragon Tail, could also run Mudshot if you want to get to the charge moves really fast. Mudshot is the way to go. But Dragon Tail is just a heavy hitting move and doing well against opposing dragons. But yeah, I mean, the Mudshot definitely doing better against Pokemon like Metagross or Magnezone. But yeah, all those great Pokemon, some of the best Pokemon in this format, and ones that you will definitely see on a lot of teams. Next up, we have Snorlax or Shadow Snorlax, both of them really good, a really bulky Pokemon. Not too many fighting types in this meta, and Snorlax is only weak to fighting type Pokemon. I mean, we do have a couple of them, but they're not really seen too often, to be honest. So great Pokemon, doing well against a lot of things. It has great moves. I mean, Lick, of course, is a good move, and then you always have Body Slam, and then the other move could be Outrage for the Dragon types. It could be Skull Bash, could be Superpower. So speaking of fighting type moves, that's a good one. I think the most common one, I don't know, in the Master League, probably the Earthquake maybe, or Superpower. I've used Skull Bash myself. It's a heavy hitting move. I've used Outrage. I've tried all the moves besides like Heavy Slam. They're all good. So Snorlax is a great Pokemon to go with. Next up, Excadrill. Really, really frail, but it is really a good Pokemon as well. Of course, Mudshot getting to the charge was really fast. It takes 5 Mudshots for the Drill Run, 5 for the Rock Slide. Doing well against Dragonite, against the Steel types as well. With the Drill Run, just an overall great Pokemon, and really fast. It does usually need shields to hide behind, depending what it goes up against. But other than that, it's a great Pokemon. Magnezone, I think, was really, really good earlier on. When this league first came out, a lot of people used it. We do have a lot of answers to it. We have Excadrill, we have Garchomp. So there's a lot of there's ground Pokemon. Wool Magnezone, still good. It's really good, but there's a lot of Pokemon that will wall it. Next up we have Walrein. So Walrein is good in every league. It's eligible in the Great Ultra and Master League. It's just such a good Pokemon. I have a Hundo. I think I have 2 Hundos, to be honest. So I can build one myself. Not a Shadow, the regular one. So I might build one. But yeah, just such a great Pokemon. I mean, the Icicle Spears come out so fast. The Earthquake is a heavy hitting move. So great Pokemon. Next up, the best Charm user going to be Togekiss. So yeah, Togekiss, you've seen this time and time again. A great Pokemon. Does so much damage. As long as it stays away from the steel types like Metagross and Magnezone, it's doing really well. And even with that Flamethrower, I mean, if it can land a Flamethrower against the steel types, still doing a lot of damage. So it could even threaten shields from them depending on the scenario. So you know how great it is. Next up we have kommo-o, relatively new Pokemon. It came out this season in the Alola region, of course. And I mean, it's pretty good. It gets walled by like fairy types because the moves are all resisted, right? Dragon Tail, I think it has Dragon Claw and Night Slash, if I'm not mistaken. Am I mistaken? Oh no, is it close combat? Maybe it's a fighting. I'm not too sure. It's something. Well, I know all the moves are resisted by fairies, so as long as it stays away from the fairy types, it's a pretty solid pick. Then we have 2 other Charm users. We have Primarina as well as Sylveon. Primarina being a new one. Togekiss I do think is a little bit better because it does have somewhat of an answer towards steel types being that Flamethrower, but I mean Primarina is a great Pokemon, so is Sylveon, so they're all great Charm users, and honestly you'll probably see these Pokemon. Primarina does have the added benefit of not being weak to steel types like Metagross. It takes neutral damage because of that water typing, but I mean all these Charm users are great. Togekiss, Primarina, and Sylveon. Then we have Mamoswine. Mamoswine, see it occasionally. It's a good one. It does well against the dragons, of course. Even against, it could do well against the Gyarados, depending on, I mean, if Gyarados has Waterfall, that's a little bit scary. It has Bulldoze for Metagross, so it has answers to steel types, even though it takes super effective damage from it as well. So a pretty, I would say a little bit underrated, but it's a good Pokemon. I see it here and there. Then we have Swampert. So Swampert, another fantastic Pokemon, of course, doing well against the popular steals like Magnezone and Metagross. Against Garchomp, I mean, the Hydro Cannon is neutral. It's not bad. I think I would probably, I mean, you could go Earthquake. I think Sludge Wave is the way to go. This way it could hit Pokemon like Dragonite, right, for neutral damage. Gardevoir, not Gardevoir, Florges for super effective damage, and other Charm users as well. So I do like the Sludge Wave in the Master League Premier Classic, but yeah, great Pokemon as well. So that's the S, A, and B tier. Let me know your favorite Pokemon in this lineup, and then we have other options. We have another Charm user, Gardevoir. I do think the Togekiss, Primarina, and Sylveon are better, but Gardevoir or Shadow Gardevoir could be an option if you don't have those others. If you want to substitute it, that could be an option. Then we have Electivire, so an interesting electric type. We don't see too many electric Pokemon outside of Magnezone in this meta, so it could be a spice pick. Then we have a couple fighters, as I mentioned, fighting types when I was talking about Snorlax. Fighting types, not seen as much, but they're not bad as well. Machamp and Conkeldurr, definitely the best ones. If you're going for a fighting type, you'll probably go for one of those. Usually it's Machamp with the Rock Slide, doing super effective damage to Togekiss, but Conkeldurr is good as well. We have another Dragon type. We have Goodra. I think the Dragonite, the Garchomp, the kommo-o, I think those are better, but Goodra, again, if you want to go double Dragon or something, could be interesting to use Goodra on the team, and you could use it for fun if you prefer Goodra over some of the other Dragon types. Hippowdon, I actually used Hippowdon a little bit as well with the Ice Fang, super effective towards those dragons. I mean, the Dragon Ground Garchomp, the Dragon Flying Dragonite, double super effective damage, super effective towards kommo-o. It has like ground attacks, charge moves for like the steel types as well. It's just such a great Pokemon. But if Ice Fang for Togekiss as well, it's really good. It really is. Then we have Milotic. Milotic can have, I think it can have Waterfall, right? But it could also have Dragon Tail. So a decent Pokemon for you. I think they have better options, but this is not a bad one. Could have a lot of fun with Milotic. Haxorus is another good one as well. You could use Haxorus. It suffers a similar situation as kommo-o, where it can't do anything to fairy types, but at the end of the day, Garchomp suffers from that as well. So it's still a good Pokemon with that Night Slash Dragon Claw right combination. Just really powerful. It really is. And then we do have another fighter. We have Sirfetch'd. I don't think this is as common as Machamp and Conkeldurr, but hey, Sirfetch'd could be interesting. Heracross as well. Heracross is on this list. So we do have some fighting types, but again, they're usually not seen unless they're spice picks. Rhyperior is another one as well. So Rhyperior with the Mud Slap, doing a lot of damage to Pokemon like Metagross, right? Magnezone, Excadrill as well. So pretty interesting Pokemon. And then we have Chestnut. I don't think Chestnut is really going to be seen, to be honest. I think it's better in the lower leagues. It's okay. Maybe for a Spice pick, you might see it. But anyway, that's going to be the Master League Premier Classic for you. We're going to jump on over to the solid team options. So we do have 6 teams laid out here. We have Garchomp with Double Steel in the back, so Excadrill and Metagross. You could run Garchomp with Magnezone and Metagross, but Excadrill, great Pokemon. I mean, both of those Pokemon really good, really powerful in the back. Safe swap. Honestly, probably going to be that Metagross and save the Excadrill for later. But Metagross is just going to do so much damage, even to Gyarados. And of course, Gyarados is resisting the moves, but it's still a great Pokemon. And I think this could be a pretty good team as well. But yeah, so pretty good team. So of course, the Garchomp going to be weak. The Togekiss, or Charm-users in general. The Pokemon in the back can handle those Charm-users. Then we have another team. We have Excadrill with Dragonite and Gyarados. Now, Gyarados could run Dragon Breath, so you could have kind of like a double Dragon team, even though Gyarados is not Dragon. It could also run Waterfall. If it runs Waterfall, it's going to have a better matchup to the Charm-users. Of course, Dragonite is terrible against Charm, so you don't want that. Excadrill handles the Charm users, especially Togekiss, really well. So probably leaning towards the Waterfall on this Gyarados, but Dragon Breath is an option, but Waterfall is going to do well against, for example, the Steel types like the Excadrill and Metagross, which are going to be common, right? So yeah, I think this is a really good team, probably a team I'm going to try out as well. Then we have another team, Garchomp with Double Charm. Now I know a lot of you are probably thinking, oh my gosh, not Double Charm. It is a solid team, it really is. And I'll tell you, my half brother, he never hit Legend. Last season, he hit Legend, season 10, yeah, before the Interlude season. He hit Legend for the very first time, and he used this team. He got into the 3300s, and he's never hit Legend before that, and he was so happy with it. Hey, more power to you. Shout out to him, because it's, I mean, even though you might think, oh, Double Charm, it's just charm away, there's no skill, this and that. You know what? It's a legitimate team, so people can run it, so there's nothing wrong with it. So I'm just putting it out there. It is a good team, and as long as you're not running into double steel teams, this team can really do well. I mean, you could safe swap into that Togekiss or the Sylveon, and then lure out one of the steel types. If they only have one steel type, totally fine. You could knock it out with Garchomp and then win with the next Charm user. As long as they don't have double steel, it is a legitimate team. You could replace one of these Charm users with Florges, so you have double Fairy instead of double Charm, but still a great team. We're going to move on to another team. We have Gyarados with Excadrill and Togekiss, so a great team as well. That Gyarados, this Gyarados could have Dragon Breath. You do have an answer in the back to a Charm user. You have Togekiss, which isn't an answer to Charm, but at least it can do a lot to it. So yeah, great Pokemon all around. I don't know, I'm loving Waterfall in this format, to be honest, with Gyarados, but Dragon Breath is also viable as well. Of course, if you're going up against an opposing Dragon type, like Dragonite, you're going to want the Dragon Breath, right? Over the, you're going to want the Dragon Breath over the Waterfall, but it all depends. You never know. If you go into the Excadrill in the lead, of course, you're going to want the Waterfall, so it could go either way. Next up, we have Snorlax with the safe swap of Togekiss with the safe swap of Snorlax or Shadow Snorlax, and then Metagross. As we talked about, Snorlax has several good charge attacks, so you definitely want the Lick and the Body Slam, but then you could go with pretty much any other move. You can go with Earthquake. Earthquake, I think, is a great move for the Master Premier Classic. Superpower is also viable as well. Even Outrage to hit the Dragon types. I wouldn't go with Outrage on this team because you have Togekiss that does well against Dragon Pokemon, as well as Metagross that is resisting the Dragon attacks, so you don't really need the Outrage. I probably wouldn't go with that. I would probably lead towards the Lick, Body Slam, probably, I would say Superpower, or Earthquake, I don't know. It's tough. Both moves are good for this team, but either way, this is another great team. Then we have another team. We have Dragonite with Double Steel, so Metagross and Magnezone. This team was popular earlier on in Go Battle League when this Master League Premier Classic was relatively new, but I still think it's a great team. Yeah, it's still a really good team. Of course, the backline is going to lose to ground types, not going to do well. If you're battling a double ground team, going to be in a difficult situation, but you could lure it out maybe with Metagross. Hopefully it's not a double ground team, but either way, These are the solid team options. Let me know what you think of these teams, and let me know what team you plan on using. Also, let me know what league you plan on playing in. This is going to be the Open Master League or the Master League Premier Classic. For me, it's going to be the Master Premier Classic, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye.